Okay, so let's have a look here at Lucidpress as an example of a software that you could use. So a production or publication software that you can use during this course. So you should just be able to use your Google Apps account. I've already linked mine up. It is a free document, or it is a free software to use. So if you go into login, if you're setting up your first time account, it will probably prompt you to answer a couple of different questions. Once you've answered those questions, it's going to pull up something like this. So there are options here that you could create a brochure. There's flyer templates. There's different poster templates. There's all kinds of things here that you may find useful as we work through assignments in this course. So what I'm going to show you is just a quick tutorial where you're going to create a new from a blank document, so you can kind of see how a few of the things work. So the first thing that we want to do when it loads up is, you can see over on the right here, so your blank document's going to come up. If you want to add an extra page, you could. So you can change the background color of the document. So maybe we'll use something like this. There's other information here that you can change around. Over on the left, you've got a text box feature. So you can either have a big heading, you could have subheadings, or you could have a body text put in. So let's use a larger heading. The other thing is you have to click out of the text box once you've put it in before you click back on. So we're going to move that maybe up to the top of our document. You can stretch it out just like normal text box features. You can fiddle with the size of the font. You can fiddle with the color of the font. That's probably not the best choice. There, let's just make it stand out. You can do things like bold, italics, underline, changing where it is. The other thing that you can look at is in Lucidpress, there's a whole bunch of different fonts that come up here. But you can also, if you don't like those fonts, under Manage Fonts, there's lots of other options. I'll just wait for that to come up, of fonts that are here. And say you did like some of these options, you would just click on it to make it stand out a bit more. Okay, so then you can hit done. And then over here, if I wanted to switch my font to make it something a little bit fancier, I could do that. So I can fiddle with those and make it all look right, but at this time, I'm not going to. So the next thing that you could do after you've got your heading, if you want to use a smaller text box, so a body text, you can use something that's a little bit smaller. Again, you can put information like bulleted lists, which might be appropriate to some of the assignments that you're doing, where you would have like a big heading at the top, and then you might have a text box with some of the information that you move around and fiddle with sort of the layout of it over here. So that being said, the other things that you can do is you can insert Google Images. So let's go over to Google Images and we'll look up TikTok, because that was something that we had been talking about as a social media outlet. You can also, under Google, fiddle with, if we want to use images, we can fiddle with things like making sure that we get a large image size. You can look for things and filter by colors, types, all of those sorts of things as well. So once you find the image that you like, you can save the image. If you're on a Chromebook, you can just put the name in, TikTok, save your image. Now you've got it over there. I don't know if it'll let me copy from there. I was having trouble with the copy and paste earlier. Yeah. Oh, maybe it does. So I had trouble with a direct copy and paste, but once it was downloaded to the computer, I was able to copy and paste it over. So that's interesting to note. The other option is you could go insert an image and upload, and then you can grab the file off your computer. So I guess once you've saved the image to your computer, you can copy and paste it over. I had trouble with just doing a regular Control-C, Control-V from, oops, that's not what I wanted, from the images without having saved this to my Chromebook. Okay, so it'll pop the image on for you. You can then do things like fiddle with where the image is, move it around. Say for an assignment, you had to look at different social media apps, which you do, and then you have to find some information or answer some questions about it. What an easy way to kind of lay those things out and do it in a way that's quite easy to manipulate. Other things that you can do, tables you could put in. There are also things like these different social media app buttons. So again, one of our assignments, we look at different social media apps and their influence on us. So instead of copy and pasting this image over, you might want to just grab the button, drag it bigger, and then you could, beside it, insert your text box, make that bigger, and then put your information there. So once you've done that, you can now download. Let's pretend this poster's done. So example, ugly poster, because this is not quite a beauty, but at least you got to know how to use the tools. So we can then download that image. You have options how you'd like to download it. It's up to you. You could do it as a PDF. That's fine for me. And then we're going to download. And you'll see that the file goes to your computer. So when you are uploading to the assignment Dropbox, there is one funny thing that pops up with this. In some cases, when you go to your downloads, it's not showing up for people. In some cases, it does. But if you don't have this show up when you're in your assignment Dropbox, so when you're over here, if you can't find that poster that you've downloaded, you actually have to drag it into your drive. So let me show you how to do that. So in your drive, you just want to move this poster so that it appears in your drive and you can use it to upload it to your assignment box. So I found this in my business class that people were having trouble getting this to actually show up in the assignment box. And all they had to do was grab it and drag it. I'm going to go straight into my drive. Once it recognizes it, it's just going a little slow. Let's wait till it gets settled. I think we might be getting close. Yeah. So you can just drag that straight into your drive. Once it's into your drive, when you are in the assignment area and you're wanting to upload your Lucidpress not so ugly poster, you can go to, oh, I should have gone in as a student. Let's pretend that I'm going to the right Dropbox because I don't have them all open for student view. But once you've thrown it in your drive and dragged it from your files over, you should be able to just come in here and go add a file. And go to Google Drive, and it should be the most recent. Oh, mine is just slow. Ugly poster. Well, anyways, my computer is just running really slow, but that should show up for you when you've downloaded and saved that. And then you can pull it from your drive. Oh, that's why, because it was in as example ugly poster. So let's go over to here. Example. There we go. Example ugly poster. And then I can add that into my folder. So that's the only glitch that other people were having, was that when they just downloaded it straight to their computer, it didn't always show up as an example in the upload. Sometimes it did. Yeah. So for me, it did. So you could just add it that way. But if you happen to have an issue, just drag it over into your drive and it should work that way as well. So there's a little intro to Lucidpress, keeping in mind there are lots of, if you were to make a new document, there are lots of templates that you could choose to edit, and they've got some of the color pieces set up for you to make it a little prettier to start with. So you might want to look through them and see, is there something that you can manipulate to look the way that you think your product will look in the end.